Hello, on this beautiful new moon day. I took a trip over to my mom's to check on the homestead and the growth and to get away from my little angelic child who is not feeling too well and has been a Klingon for the past 4 days. And Mama needs to get away. So I came over here and I want to show you guys some awesome things. We have potatoes that are coming up, which you can see right here. It's a cute little potato. He's so cute. Oh, that's two little sprouters. Look at that. Gorgeous. And then another one right here. And right here. Here. And over here. And then I can switch this. This bed is looking lush. We have, so these are all radishes. You can see right here, you can see these were the sprout leaves, and then these are their foliage coming in. So those are looking good. We're gonna thin those out soon. The spinach is filling out. And we have these sugar sprint peas coming in here. Now next time I'm gonna plant the peas right up against the edge here, and this way it'll just give more space for the sunflowers in between. So what I'm hoping is that the sugar sprint peas will grow up along the fence and cover this fence, make like a wall of peas, and in front of that will be some beautiful sunflowers poking out. So we have some giant sunflowers and some smaller like autumn colored sunflowers here. And this looks like another sunflower coming up. Radishes. This is a sunflower too. And more, I did pea, sunflower, pea, sunflower. So they're all coming up, which is really fun. And then over here we have some broccoli that has grown like crazy in the past couple days. So big. Look how big that is. I can't see. So big. I mean, that leaf is as big as my hand now. I don't know if we'll have enough time. It might get too warm for these guys to grow heads, but it's still been really fun watching them grow. So we'll see what happens. There's some curled parsley here. This is a straight neck yellow squash, just a Bonnie squash I picked up at Agway the other day that needs some water. And these are cabbages. All grew a lot in the past 4 days that I haven't been here. Again, same with the broccoli. I don't know that we'll have enough time to really get a good head on these because they like the cold. They don't like the heat, and it's starting to get real warm. Now my mom did sow some long red Chinese noodle beans here along the bottom of the trellis, which have still not come up. So I'm gonna soak some more seeds tonight and sow more there to try to make it happen. Here we have some more radishes. These were planted, I think, about a week or two after the other ones from the back. And here's a couple more radishes, and here's a little zinnia coming up. This is I believe it's a queen lime zinnia, so it's gonna be this gorgeous like peachy lime color. And this is, it's a little borage coming up. More cabbage. Okay, and the tomatoes. So, tomatoes are looking pretty good. This guy's got a little damage on the leaves. These guys need serious water. And it's definitely grown a little bit since when I put it in. So these are just Bonnie tomatoes that I picked up at Agway. For lack of better planning, this is what we got for tomatoes this year. I'm definitely going to get one more, maybe a couple more. So this is a Husky Cherry Red, hybrid cherry tomato, indeterminate. Indeterminate means that the tomato will just keep growing. So we've got them set up here on this cattle panel wall, inspired by Roots and Refuge Farm. Thank you for that beautiful tip. And the idea is that the tomatoes are going to grow straight up and cling to this wall, and we'll weave them in and out as they get bigger. I'm going to be pruning these to a single stalk, meaning, let's see, this one doesn't have any suckers yet, but here you have this single stalk right here, and in between the single central stalk and this little arm will grow another vine that will act like a central stalk. So what I'm going to do is prune all of those away so that we stick with one stalk and let these all grow out, and utilize the panel so that we don't have a jungle of tomato plants. We can kind of like keep it contained a little bit and get more fruit hopefully off of them. So next we have a Golden Jubilee, which is an heirloom tomato, and it's another indeterminate, so we'll keep going. Tomatoes naturally grow vining along the ground, so that's why they need all this support, and to grow them in this vertical way is so that we can get more out of less square footage. So this bed here is about 14 feet by 2 by 14 feet. No, 2 by 12. It's 2 by 12, and then we have the cattle panel is situated about a foot up from the tomatoes, and it's 5 feet wide. So then that's giving 6 feet up for each tomato to keep growing. We could have put the panel up a little bit higher, but we didn't want the corners here that stick out. We didn't want the corners to be at eye level to our little babies that are about 16 months old right now that are walking around this backyard. So obviously there's still hazards everywhere, but we didn't want those corners to be right at their eye level. Anyway, so moving right along, we have the Golden Jubilee. These babies need water. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. You see this right here? Can't tell if you can see. Alright, we'll just go for it. So this right here is what I mean. Here's the central stalk, here's the arm, and then this little guy is a sucker. We're gonna pull that sucker right off. Get rid of it. Now I'm gonna leave the top part alone because you can't really differentiate what's a sucker and what's not right now, so we'll leave that alone for now. Let it go. This is another heirloom. Okay, this is a pink Brandywine, pretty popular heirloom tomato. Again, indeterminate, Bonnie. So when you're planting tomatoes, basically what you want to do is you want to bury as much of the stalk as you can. So say you've got your tomato, the root ball in the soil out of the pot. Say you buy a potted plant, and then you've got 7 inches of tomato plant with arms coming off and leaves coming off. You want to pluck the arms and leaves off up until the top part right here, and then plant that entire stem all the way into the ground, because if you can see on the stem, and I'm sure you've seen this before, on the tomato plant stem is all these little hairs, and all those little hairs will turn into roots. So by planting the tomato plant nice and deep, you're giving your plant that much more of a boost to be able to have a really great root system. If your plant has a dinky root system, it's not going to be able to develop that many fruit, and that's the whole point, right? To get a lot of fruit off your plant. So you want to focus on the roots at first, and even like pull off any blossoms that you see in the very beginning, so that your plant doesn't focus on creating flowers and fruit, so that it focuses right away on creating the root system. So like right here, This plant has some flowers, and I'm gonna pluck them right off for now so that it will focus its energy on growing up and growing roots, not flowers yet. Not ready for flowers yet. Okay, this one is pretty popular. You'll see this a lot of places. Bonnie Big Boy Hybrid Tomato, Indeterminate again. I think that I should have planted them just a little bit deeper in the ground, but you know, it was my first time, so live and learn. And then we have another big boy over here. These are looking very wilty, and I'm gonna give them some water right now. Okay. What else can I show you? Ferns. I got some ferns from my neighbor. All right, let's find fern placement. Bye-bye.